Okay. Ooh, it's live. Oh, we're live. Amazing. It's been so long since I've done this. Wonder if anyone's going to show up. What am I supposed to do if no one's here? What am I supposed to say? Hello, chat. Oh, there's life. Someone is alive here. Someone arrived. Hello. Mark Slams, #1. What is up, my guy? What is that? What is that like purple crown #1 next to you, Mark? What is that? I've been so wait. What the heck is that? What are all these things next to you? Wait, this is like so new to me. What? Whoa, Spartaner. What is going on? Are you guys seeing this? What is this like? What is that? There's like these numbers next to chat. Like you have little custom icons. That's sick. Are those like you're like the #1 fan of like someone or the other? You get XP. You grind XP by chatting. Damn. All right, that's pretty cool. I guess it's pretty useful from a streamer point of view because I can see who's like my regulars and stuff. Hey, McKay, how's it going? What is going on, my guy? I can see like how like whether you're new or more veteran or experienced, I guess, and then it also gives you like a little badge for participating and stuff. That's pretty neat. How's it going? It has been like 2 months since I've streamed on this channel and like a year since I made anything. How is it going? I've been thinking a lot about Battletech. You listen to my tier lists on repeat. That's good. I think basically it's been a really long time. Light mech tier list. Nice. I'm so happy that the basically the videos I made a year ago, people are still like finding value in them, you know? They're still like getting enjoyment and learning and able to kind of like operate in the world a little bit better. I think so. I mean, they're answering my question, right? Can you guys hear me? Why do you only hear me on the left side? Oh, is it? Shit. It might be that device Scarlet 2i2 only on the left. Fuck. Okay, I have a retarded. Sorry, I can't say the R word. I have a dumb fix. I'll be right back. It's your earbud and someone else's. Okay, I seem to have broken my model, but do you hear me from both ears now? What is this? Now it's working. Yes, it's working. All right, now to play with the model. Yay. Okay, I'm like frozen in time because it's been a long time since I've messed around with VTube Studio. So now I'm now I'm frozen. And I don't think I want to troubleshoot. Let me try and troubleshoot this while I talk to you guys. I have to hide this first. Okay. Hide this so we don't show anything. All right. Working video or working audio? Pick one. Okay. Okay, it's working again. Woohoo! It got plugged back in. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Now we go back up. Okay, great. It's working. Everything's working. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. This is fine. All right. Okay. The bonus is that I can go into your right ear, and then I can go into your left ear. Whoa, it's an enhancement. It's an enhancement. All right. So I figure we have a little fireside chat. I've been away for the last year and a half, I think. It's been like a year and a half now. And I've been working on my second business, and it still needs a lot of work. So I'm not going to be able to come back to this. What I'm thinking now is eventually I will probably come back to this channel and do it full time. I don't think it will be entirely Battletech, just doing like market research and stuff. The niche is just too small for me to make any kind of meaningful full-time income. Everything's fine. Sounds like a true mech tech trying to unearth a lost tech mech I've not seen. But I do have this like creative energy in me. Hey DT, how's it going? I do have this creative energy in me where I do need to do things like just for me, just for fun. And on my days off, I really have like, I don't know, I'm just in work mode so much. It's hard to turn off work mode. So I figure, let's channel the creative energy into Battletech stuff. I don't know how long that, I don't know how much time I should commit to it. So I think at the most, I probably do work on quote unquote Battletech stuff on my off day when I'm not working on my other business. And then I would maybe like stream for you guys and chit chat with you guys. But out of curiosity, was thinking, it's not related to any of this. I don't really talk about it because one, it's not related, and one, I like to keep things like siloed, on the internet because I mean, it's part of why I have like a VTuber, right? I don't want to show my face on the internet, and then if I become internet famous, and then I can't go out in certain places, even in like the Battletech space. So if I go into like a Battletech Discord, it's weird because it's like you're like a minor celebrity, and people treat you almost like a minor celebrity. And I never really understood why celebrities like to keep a low profile until I walked into a Battletech Discord server, and you don't have like privacy, and everyone's like adding you, and you don't even know them, and you're just like, brother, I'm just here to like play Battletech like a fucking normal person, And yeah, so I mean, there are nice aspects to fame, but also not so nice aspects to fame. And yeah, those experiences just kind of like confirm that, like, yeah, I really do want to silo things off, and I really do want to continue using the VTuber, just because, like, if I go to like a hobby shop and then I get recognized, then it's just like, I don't know, I don't really want that experience again. I hope you guys like understand. Yeah, but it's like it's like 99% 99% of people are cool, or it's just that 1 or 2% that just like really doesn't understand how to treat people, and that And as sad as that is to say, that kind of colors a lot of experience, you know. And then people that are chronically on those discords sometimes aren't the best types of people. Like sometimes the people there on those discords are there because they're not accepted by any friend group because they're a little bit socially awkward or socially weird. Yeah. So it's interesting trying to like balance that out. But um yeah, so that's why I don't talk about like when I'm doing Battletech, I'm only doing Battletech. When I'm doing my other job, I'm only doing my other job. And when I go outside, I want to go out and be able to like I want to be able to like go out to a hobby shop, not get recognized, be treated like a normal person, and then I can see who that person really is, you know? It's like if they know you, they're gonna like kind of lick your toes to a certain extent. They're gonna like show you a lot of respect, but I want to know how you treat people who are strangers, you know? Because if you're a shitty person, you're gonna treat a stranger like shit, and I want to know that, you know? That's rather than have that person just fawn over you the whole time, which is flattering, but then you don't know who they really are. Do you have any ideas for content, official map reviews, like in the First Strike book? I actually don't. So I've been out of the game for like a year and a half. So I've been like, I haven't been seriously looking at things and like seeing what the landscape is. As far as I can see in the YouTube space, it hasn't really changed. I still do think that the ideas themselves for the videos are really, really important. So I'm formulating my own ideas, and I'm a little hesitant to like share those ideas, you know, because I only am able to work on this like one day out of the week at the most. It's if I say my idea kind of out loud, then another YouTuber or creator can just take that idea and use it. Where like I want to use the idea, you know, it's my idea. I'm prepping to run a new Mech Warrior Destiny campaign and introducing a few new people to the Battletech universe for the first time. Always exciting. Yeah, that's really exciting. I'm so, you know, it's so cool that you're spreading the hobby. I think that that's a really noble thing and a really cool thing because Battletech is really quite small, and yeah, I think it's good when good and helpful people introduce the hobby to others. I'm shocked we have Nerdy back to talk about BT. My dreams have come true. It's been too long. Yeah, yeah. I do it every so often. I'll think about it, and um, and I've talked to a couple of people and they're like, man, you talk about this so much, you think about this so much, just go back and do it. And I always feel just a little like, oh, I could be working on my business, you know, because but to a certain extent that's not true because you need like some time thinking about other stuff. Nerdy rating all of MechFrog's variants in a video. Does MechFrog make variants? Does he make custom variants now? I used to binge watch your 2025 tier list when I was preparing to play the Hinterlands campaign. I was literally watching the medium tier list today. Yeah, welcome, welcome. I think yeah, I'm really happy that those tier lists are so popular and they help people, you know? I mean, it's amazing to see. It honestly is amazing and very flattering to see people still watching the tier lists, still using the tier lists to help them. And then even like the painting video I did, like I saw someone the other day that was using the exact same paint scheme or doing that paint scheme. So they must have watched the tutorial or seen someone who had watched the tutorial because no one before that was doing that kind of thing, doing a metallic slap chop on Battletech. And doing that Lyran guard scheme in that way, so I could very much see my influence there. A year and a half later, it's very interesting, very rewarding. Just got a scorpion for your mercenary company. Can't wait to paint it. Ooh, you know, I haven't really messed with quads too much, just because of the aesthetic wasn't really pleasing to me. But they have some interesting lateral movement rules. I think it can move side to side, which is very interesting. The Scorpion itself is a little dubious. I believe it has no armor. It has no crit padding on like one torso or something, right? So once that torso opens up, it's kind of screwed because it's got 100% explosion chance. Yes, for every why do we love X mech or vehicle, he does a custom variant. Oh, cool, cool. I'm glad he is doing that now. I don't know if he used to do that, but at least that's a bit of innovation. I've always enjoyed tinkering and stuff. But yeah, I'm a little, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed by the lack of innovation in the space. I feel like, and I haven't looked at it very deeply, but everyone's kind of doing the same thing a year and a half in, which is not good for me. It's not interesting to me. Oh, Mage Leader, how's it going? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. I hope your channel's doing well. I hope you're doing well in life. You helped clearly define the roles and explain how battle mechs filled those roles. Your analysis moved the whole conversation on Battletech in a more analytical and focused direction. Interesting. Do you feel like it... There was one guy... Do you feel like it moved too far in a more analytical and focused discussion? Because I feel like before, we were kind of in the dark ages of understanding, and adding in that engineering and analytical thing and that framework of, hey, mechs are like players on a basketball team where they have different roles because of their different sizes and abilities. But I'm wondering if we move too far towards the analytical side and need to move a little bit more back to the story side. Hey, welcome in, Nighthawk. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you enjoyed and got value out of the videos. Something I'd love to see are videos going over the faction variants for generic mechs. There are a lot of fluffy variants that get attention. Yeah, I believe so too. I have a very good idea for that. Actually, let me do this, because one of the things I wanted to do after chatting is writing down ideas for okay, let's think about what we want to do here. I need to do, how the freak do I do this again? I think I have to add like a text. Yes, okay, there's a text. So let's see here. Talk. Ooh. I need to make font size smaller. How do I make font size smaller? Whatever. Okay, let's talk about what we want to do. All right, so first thing I want to do is make a mech, RPG mech mercenary commander leader, and I'll tell you why later, and talk about, before that I think I want to talk about like content you guys want to see. Hello, I'm back. Okay, talk about BT content you want to see. Talk, I think talk about is redundant, huh? Okay, so Battletech content you want to see, I guess. Hobby, tabletop, TT, tabletop, and use trends in general, and make an RPG mercenary leader. I do want to start on a new series that requires a commander, so we do need to make that. That is something I have to do before I leave today. Okay, we'll lock this. I have some peanut butter and banana open face sandwiches here. I mean, every creator has a focus. Find the right balance between lore and funkiness and turn-based efficiency is a good goal. I do, but I'm just wondering if, like, because I know I moved the conversation more towards analytic. Like, I believe it, because that was one of the things I was really frustrated by when I was reading the reading the materials before I started. There was no like clear doctrine or clear understanding on what to do. Analyzing mechs within the constraints of a mercenary company buying or salvaging mechs is great. Yeah, I think that plays into just the mercenary fantasy. A lot of the fantasy in Battletech is just leading your own mercenary company, which I think sometimes the main company itself kind of gets wrong. Like they're not thinking, they're more book writers and more interested in the drama between the characters rather than if you were focused a little bit more on the game itself, you would understand that, at least from my understanding, when I'm playing as a fan, I'm not really considering like whether Theodore Kurita's relationship between Candace or whatever, I don't care about the characters in general. I care about my experience and my fantasy as a mercenary commander. Would love to see the assault tier list. Personally, enjoy hearing your personal opinions. Analytics be damned. So let me ask you this. So there are a couple ways I can go with the tier lists. The first idea I had, and maybe we'll put it to a vote with people here so I can understand a little bit better. First idea I had was to finish the assault tier list in the year 2025. The second idea I had was, and we'll put it to a poll so you guys can vote. Okay, tier list. Finish 2025 assault. Or move on to 3049 or something like that. No clan. Or move on to 3049 with some clan. Okay. So I'm going to start a poll here. So the first option is, I'll finish the 2025 assault list. Second option is, I'm going to just move on to 3049 with no clan. So it's going to be Renaissance technology with no... I will evaluate all the mechs starting from like lighter, medium, and then going up with no mention to the clans. Or I can move on and do a 3049 at the very beginning of the clan invasion. So the nerdy overanalyzed slime character would not really understand, would be putting you at the very beginning of the clan invasion, where the inner sphere doesn't really understand, where they don't really understand who the clans are, what they are, and what their capabilities are. And that's kind of how I want to do it, because I haven't started doing clan stuff, and if I did, it would make the number of variables and understanding knowledge I would have, it would require me to have a very high base knowledge, because I haven't studied clans really at all. Clan analysis from the perspective of an IS commander. Clan analysis. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'll write that down. All right, I'll chit chat about that while you guys kind of vote. That is an idea. Yeah, that is a very good idea, Spartaner. Okay, cool. So good. I'm glad that my idea works. It looks like most people want me to finish the assault list of 3025 and then move on to clan. Which is completely okay, cool. I'm gonna just read chat so I can understand you guys a little bit better. So assault list first. And then clan 3025 with clan. 3049 with clan IS POV. Float the idea from for house force variants or otherwise. Absolutely, absolutely. I have a really good idea for that, Furbo. Do not worry. Don't worry. Yeah. So IS variants. Character's reaction to the Timberwolf. Okay. Timberwolf reaction. Perfect. I think that I love that too. Yeah. Oh, hey Luigi, how's it going? Long time no see. How's your life? You like graduated college like a year and a half ago. And then I never heard from you. Welcome back, nerdy dash pirate. Pirate, is that, are you Toma Nihon? Is that your new name? Is that your new name, pirate? Toma Nihon? Hey, Durkif. The YouTube name, Toma Nihon. How's it going? How's the Battletech server? I've been meaning to like remake my Discord account and come back to playing. Is it still alive, pirate? Because I really do need more Battletech people to play against. Like maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks. System Philosophy. Hello, nerdy. Hey, System Philosophy. How's it going? Pirate, tell me if the Discord server is still going. I got ERPPC to the head and lost a direwolf yesterday. Okay, so it's still pretty active then, Pirate? If it is, I'll probably make like a account, make a new account and head there. Yeah. Some people were being weird to my, and I was like, all right, I don't want to deal with this. I'm out. Message you a link. Oh, I straight deleted my Discord account because I was like, this is I got better things to do. Bye. But can I see it? Can I find the MRC? I can find the MRC Discord, right? It's not like private anymore, or is it private? List of mechs with ubiquitous. Yes, it is private, or yes, it is public. Oh, you can find the MRC. Okay. So if I can find it, I'll just pop in whenever. And I have not read the Hinterlands books. I actually haven't read very much of the fiction. I just don't find it very compelling, and I know that'll piss a lot of people off. But, oh yeah. If you guys like tabletop BattleTech, you can join the MRC server. MRC Discord server. They're quite helpful. Hinterlands is probably the new popular way to play. Can you explain that to me? What is that? Is that like not a book? Hinterlands. The last thing I heard was Aces, and I was really interested in Aces, but I was interested in transposing Aces from the new way to play to from the Alpha Strike method to Classic, because I really do want to man a mercenary company. I'm part of a narrative writing Megamech hybrid style server if you're interested. Came from a group forum. Oh, yeah. Like the roleplay servers. I've tried. It usually just falls apart. If anything, I'll just make like a campaign myself and then just play through it and maybe stream it. Mercenary campaign book in the Ill Clan era. Wow, that's pretty cool. I got your videos through Sven, and I've been thinking about applying what I've learned to M5 Mercs. It helped with overall tactics. Thank you for the in-depth information, of course. I'm pleasantly surprised that, like, the tactics that I talk about transfer over reasonably well to MechWarrior 5 and BT 2018 and Alpha Strike. Luigi did your first D&D campaign. Oh, congratulations. D&D is really, really fun. I did that a lot during high school. That was like pretty much like that was high school for me. Warhammer, D&D, and World of Warcraft. Mega mech examples of vehicles. Yeah, I do have to do vehicles. I don't have a lot of experience with like vehicles and infantry. I mostly have concepts, like theoretical concepts, which seem to work on paper, but you never know. You gotta test them out. And I know people got pissed off when I did a vehicle analysis. It was because it wasn't like in depth, right? It was just like a knee jerk reaction. Literally assembling Warhammer right now. Oh yeah. It's wild how well MechWarrior translated to the tabletop rules all the way back to MechWarrior 2. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm quite happy that quite happy it is. Yes, the biggest difference in the MechWarrior video games is that the AC weapons are actually kind of like decent, you know? Like the ratios on the AC2 and AC5 are like horrendous in Classic. Trey of the Kobold. The slime is back. Hello, Trey of the Kobold. Welcome. Yes, I am back. I'm not full back. When I'm fully back, I think you're going to feel it. The plan right now is for me to get enough money, get enough cash flow off of that second business to where I can get full-time income. And if I can get like full-time income off of that second business, I can come back to this as a hobby, and that clears up a lot of space. Because like previously I was kind of clocking myself where like, okay, I have to get this video up and it has to do well so that I can make money, you know, so I can like pay my bills. And that leads into a path where you're kind of like repeating these tried and true formulas and not really innovating. And so I want to kind of come back and be able to use this as like a completely new, like a platform that where I can completely express myself in my nerdy hobbies without having any kind of like monetary pressure. You know, I think that's like kind of the best way to come at it, because then I can just do whatever I want. You know, and if something sucks, like something flops, like it's oh well. Or if I like go over budget by like I don't know, like a couple $100. I don't care, because it's like, well, it's just like play money. It's like my hobby. Tend to play combined arms for your World League style. Vehicles work well with mechs if you use the advanced rules. Yeah, I think I definitely need to start adding it. Like I definitely need to start putting games in again, because I'm very rusty. I haven't played in a year and a half, so I probably need to like read my new guide or my old guides and old notes. And then trying to like refine that understanding and brush off the rust. You don't report losses on your tax. Let's see, what did I do? Tax wise, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, you can't. Like, I definitely will. You know, it to a certain extent, I think it can lower your taxes. Certainly, if you have a business and you know use the boxes, like as long as you make like a hobby review, it's for business, you know, so you can like hobby review the boxes, which is kind of nice from like a hobbyist point of view, because if you have a channel, you're just like, oh, it made $100. Okay, let me just buy some more toys, you know, buy some more miniatures and paints and stuff, and then as long as I use them on stream, I can write them as a business expense. Vehicles tend to turn into turrets. My crew plays weekly here in Anchorage, sometimes twice a week on Mega Mech. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. I haven't used vehicles very much. My sense is that mechs like the Shadowhawk will do reasonably well at attacking vehicles, since you're trying to get, what do they call it? You're trying to get motive hits, right? You're just trying to score a hit to disable that. So the Shadowhawk gives you 2 attempts at that, and like the Blackjack, the BJ1 also does that, and they're relatively cheap. But I haven't like tested it again. Yeah, motive crits. Yeah, vehicles are great to add more guns or specific guns to the field. Only units we don't use regular arrow spiders because the ground maps are, the rules are insane. Yeah, they get really hard, but I do think I want to use like VTOLs at least have some combined arms, because that's kind of like the trend now. Like people want to see how mechs and infantry and tanks and helicopters and stuff interact, and I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, yep. Shadowhawk is okay. Yeah, the javelin should like just destroy things with infernos. And do you run infernos on your commando? Do you run like SRM 4 Inferno and SRM 6 regular, or like vice versa? Because I don't see you running like full Inferno on the commando. The sucky thing about the commando, it has a 4 and a 6, so you can't put Inferno. You can't split fire your Infernos like you can on the javelin. You know what I'm saying? You can't switch between modes. But yeah, for sure. For sure, Infernos are useful in combined arms, right? Because they do 3 damage to infantry and a bunch of motive crits to vehicles. What are you feeling about the hex base versus the miniature rules? I hate the miniature rules for the ambiguity. Um, I haven't tried. When I started the hobby, I was quite new to it, so I like really didn't haven't. I had like the box sitting on my shelf for a while, like the beginner box, or not the beginner box, the Game of Armor Combat. I only really started playing BattleTech seriously when I started the channel, and you can kind of see that, right? Because even though I studied, there were big gaps of information that it wasn't understanding back when I made like the Locust video and the Commando video or the Javelin video. But now I do know. So I always tried to use a single system because I needed a stack experience on a single system. And what I decided on was like the classic system with like the classic rules, right? So I would never, because my time was so limited and my experience was so limited, I needed a stack XP. I only ever played Hex, and I can't see playing non-Hex. I think non-Hex might look cooler, but there is the ambiguity. There is the infinity effect that I really don't like, where, oh, you moved your guy like half an inch to the left, well, he doesn't have cover anymore and he's dead. That's annoying to me. I like knowing that my guy is going to get cover or not based on the positioning, and like I can literally just pre-measure the hex and see. I like that. Grizzly, what a treat. Thank you for everything you've done to improve the game. Your videos are my favorite. Thanks so much. You should try Alpha Strike with hexes. I haven't tried Alpha Strike. Okay, I don't try Alpha Strike because it's like it would split my time, and two, they don't have an online Alpha Strike. So I can't play, like, if I was to play Alpha Strike, I could only play it in the local area I am, which would mean that I would never understand. It would be hard to understand what the dominant meta is and report back on that. Because with Classic, I can go onto like any Discord server and play Mega Mech, and through doing that, I access like a global audience. So like each person in their local community has their own meta, right? And then you can fight those local metas through Discord and create like a global meta. Because like what work in like Anchorage, for example, is not going to work in California, and you can duke it out and see like, oh, this strategy works a little bit better. Like this. Like the Anchorage meta is better than the California meta, so like obviously the Anchorage meta is like superior, and you can like learn from each other and understand like what the optimal way to play is, like, so you can like solve the game like that. Definitely make some of the best BattleTech vids. Thanks. I really think, like, looking back, I think I've gotten better at, like, I have some better ideas about how to structure the videos and kind of like um I have some very good, like, I think when I come back and seriously start attacking the BattleTech videos again, the long form game review guide stuff, I think I'll come back a lot stronger. Like I think they'll be at least like 25, 30 to 50% better. Um, yeah, tabletop simulator could work. I mean, but it's just hard to find. Like Megamech's just so much easier, and it integrates with, um, it has like a like because it also has a campaign system, so it's like makes it really good for creating like longer narratives, which is something that I want to do. Where Alpha Strike, I don't think has that. It has like the war chest system, but I think people really like getting into the weeds, down to like the credit level. At least for me, even though it's like going to be super hard, I want that like 1980s really gritty, realistic feel, where like you're playing like the OG Battletech, and that's pretty sick. Yeah, nothing beats Megamech in terms of putting games in. Right. So you can like resolve a Megamech game in like 2 hours, whereas it will take you like 6 hours in real, like 4 to 6 hours in real life. So you can slam like in a day, you can slam like 3 games if you want, 3 4 games. How are your other project going? It's going pretty good. There are setbacks with that other business. Um, my goal is to get it to full time income. If I can get it to full time income, then I can come back here. I can justify coming back here more. But I've been too long away, and I think I should be here a little bit more regularly. Not entirely back. I'm not doing this like I'll probably do it like once a week or once every other week or something. But I think it is good to do. Okay, so let's see here. Let's mess with this text here. Can I strike through? I'll just do done. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic. I want to talk about Battletech content you would like to see. Let's finish this end poll. Where's the results? What the heck? Oh, these are top. Okay, cool. Let me take a snip of this before I forget, so I know. Poll complete. BT poll. Okay. Yeah, Megamech does a lot of math and rolling, which reduces TDM. Absolutely. I like getting into the weeds, but my players like having multiple units. So with campaigns, the fights would continually get bigger and bigger and get bogged down with so many salvage units. Yeah, that is a problem. I don't know how you would resolve that. Yeah, I think once it starts getting outside the company level, it's a little harder. Like you might want to get a little bit more abstract. The beauty of BT is it doesn't have the faction of the week issue. Yeah. That is a really big thing. Like, dude, I went back to the Warhammer, like flipping through like a Warhammer codex. I'm like, I don't even recognize it anymore. Like, I stopped playing in like, I got in at like fourth and fifth edition. Fifth edition, I think. I played that. That was fifth edition. Like fifth to seventh is what I played kind of like the most. And then, um, like once it got outside of that, like looking at 10th edition, like what is this? There's like unit cards, you have like little power ups, like it's so many combos, and they get you like addicted to where you have to buy the codex. You can't like they don't just have stat lines and special abilities anymore. You have like power trap cards and stuff, which I guess it's kind of neat, but it also like very clearly like hooks you into their system where you like you're reliant on you have to buy the next codex and the data cards and all that crap. Yeah. Our meta names on elementals and omnis are so broken. Yeah, they are quite strong. I don't know how to beat them because I haven't played at invasion. I'm like still saving my invasion for me. Like I really want to get destroyed. I want to build up a giant regiment or battalion in IS and then go against the clans and get my teeth kicked in. I think that'd be so much fun. We'd love to learn more on narrative play. Okay, so narrative play is a big thing. Let me write it down. I have a just throw out your suggestions, guys. Like literally, just type them in chat, and I'll write them down if it's something that I haven't thought of. Tail end of third, I just can't. Yeah, there's a channel that I'm watching now. I don't know what it's called, but he only does second edition Warhammer, and that's so cool. He paints it like the second edition stuff, and he also plays second edition rules, and they're so interesting to see because it's more like it feels more balanced. Like you aren't like throwing out like trap cards and just like blowing people out, you know? Canopus Cat Girls. Okay, I'll write it down. Canopus Cat Girl video. A video of how you can balance quirks. I don't know how you balance quirks because I play with quirks and I just accept that the only thing you could do is just like BV adjust things. Because if you just tweak the beast, if you just tweak BV, uh, if you tweak BV, any mech can become balanced. Because if it's like busted, you just jack up the BV by whatever number percent. Miniscape, yeah, it sounds familiar. I don't know if that's the one, but he's a dude that only does second edition, and he like paints a model and he talks about his nostalgia. That's pretty cool. I'll watch those before sleep sometimes. Minisodes, yeah, that also sounds like that also sounds familiar. Yeah, I think it's like minisodes or miniscapes, something like that. Narrative side. That's how I'm planning Battletech Extended 2018. Started in 3039, building the most powerful company we can before the clans show up. Yeah, exactly. That's so cool. Like, I want to see how different the clans are to Inner Sphere and just get like destroyed by their new mechs and new tactics, and like try and come up with ways to fight them while losing like companies at a time. That'd be fun. Incorporating strategies from battle mech variants that are off meta would be interesting. I don't know. When you say meta, for me, I stay in narrative availability, so like I'm not really exposed to like tournament, because like tournament stuff, you're just taking the most optimal mech and playing it in the most optimal way, which I haven't done. I am mostly like thinking about the narrative. And so even though my stuff is like systems, is based off of like analysis systems, I'm playing within my data set is limited to what's available in universe in the rates that they are available in universe. So for example, like the Thunderbolt is like 13% availability, like uncommon for common to uncommon for heavy mechs, and those are the mechs like that you're obviously going to be building around and having to deal with, because those are the most common mechs. Like a mech like the Crab is something that would be a side note for me, because it's so rare. Like the Black Knight and Crab is like, oh, if you find it, it's really good. But I'm not gonna be like saying something like, oh, you should play you absolutely need to get the Black Knight Commander because it's so good and blah blah blah. Because in universe, it's so rare to find that it's not like no one would say that. It's like if you find it, yeah, it's pretty sick, but it's not something that you can go out and just buy, because they're ultra rare. Quirks are broken for sure. There are different trait points. Yeah. I don't play with like the pilot quirks. The pilot quirks you can use some crazy things with the pilot quirks, it looks like. Bad mech series. There already is a bad mech series. I don't someone was already doing that. And I could do it, but it's not something that particularly interests me. Yeah, don't start meta. Yeah, meta is how you turn BT into 40k. Exactly. So that's like one of the big things I want to avoid is if you just go purely like if I was to go purely by BV and just like apply the analysis to the BV, then I would be essentially supporting tournament play. And that's not something I want to do. I want to support narrative play. And and for that reason I've intentionally not assessed mechs on their value to BV ratio. I've assessed mechs by their value to C bill ratio intentionally to avoid power gaming because I don't want to feed the power gamers. Any experience with AI generated Battletech art? I've played with AI. I have not generated AI Battletech art. I don't I don't think it could because it couldn't. I don't think you could feed a bunch of like Shadowhawk pictures and get a Shadowhawk out. I think the AI is more prone to like add on like other things, right? Unless you have a different AI or using a different AI tool. But at that point, if you're feeding it like pictures of like a Phoenix Hawk or a Shadowhawk specifically, then you're kind of infringing on the artist, right? I don't know. I no. So the answer is no. Like I think with as long as the AI is commercial use and you're not the AI needs to be commercial use. And you need to not be like intentionally handing it stuff that people have not said that they don't want to train on AI. So like if it's commercial use AI, then you know, and you're not feeding anything, to me that's fine. But if you're taking people's pictures and that they've said like, hey, don't use it, you know, then that's not good. A lot of quirks. Da, 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 da. The words tournament play make me break out in hives. Yeah. Oh, is that how they're doing it? I wonder if Frog is doing the same thing. Because I see Mech Frog and he has all these, like, he has the Battletech art, but it's painted. I wonder if that's how he did it. As I thought it was, like, at first I thought it was, like, painting it himself or something, or paying someone to paint it, which is entirely possible, but. Is a Vindicator, Disco Back, Trebuchet, and Wolverine out of theme for Capella Media? Probably not. I mean, the Vindicator is the Capellan mech, right? And then Trebuchet, Wolverine are relatively common to uncommon. And then your only rare one is the Disco Back. It's an urban fighter, but yeah, you could use it. Ah, he has the Discord send in the painted mech. Okay, so people are painting it for him. Okay, cool. We have a 40k refugee, and I see the competitive tournaments play restrictions and meta just beneath the surface trying to break through. Yeah, that is something that, like, if you want to do tournament stuff, that's cool. Like, you enjoy the game and the hobby, how you want to play it, but I just don't want to mess around with tournaments. Like, I think there is something to be said about understanding tournaments, playing in them, playing in those very, like, okay, we're playing to win, we're playing in a tournament setting, to understand how to pilot the mechs better, right? To understand how to put together lances and play better. But that's not the way that I have the most fun personally. So I'll probably play in a couple tournaments. Like if it were me, play in a couple tournaments, understand how it's played, understand why and what is being done to understand the tactics, and then take the tactics that you learn from the tournament and apply them to the narrative. Meaning, like, you play within the constraints of the narrative. And if you had a tournament, I think it would be interesting to have a tournament in which it abided by the availability of the mechs for the specific factions. So you couldn't just run, like, the Black Knight because it's the most powerful thing, or whatever mech you find. You have to adhere to some things making you adhere to, like, the actual lore availability. I think that would be more fun. Do I visit my LGS and put models on the table? I did for a little bit, but the problem was there were only like 4 or 5 guys that played, so I could only learn so much. And it was such that when I went back there to the local game store and play with those guys, I was ahead in a number of aspects because I had taken it like a job, like it was my job. And I had played on the Megamech server, so I could like show them a couple things. So there wasn't a whole, like, they did teach me a few things. There was one guy in particular who was very, very good at the game. But because I can get a similar experience through Discord and Megamech, I didn't really mess around with it too much after visiting a couple times. I'm a 40k player, but I prefer narrative play in both 40k and BT. I'm running a Crusade campaign at my local club. Yeah, I think that's a really like fun way to play. That's like probably my preferred way to play. I don't know if all Warhammer players are like that. Do they have that reputation now? Because I've always just, I don't know. I stopped playing Warhammer in my like early 20s, I think. If I introduce someone to the first BV battle rule, but already has a 120-ton platoon battle experience, how much BV will be good? Just look up like how much BV he has in his current thing. You know, just be like, okay, well, how much BV do you have? And then like, do you want to play at that level or a little lower? So if his stuff is like 9k BV, then just be like, all right, cool. Your thing is 9k BV. Here's my guys with 9k BV. Let's play. With the focus on more narrative, showcase some lance ideas at different BV levels. Run through a game with it, some tabletop episode play, and give us a breakdown. Okay, so like a battle report tutorial. Narrative Solaris Tournament. Very cool. It's interesting how you guys are throwing out ideas and how they're very similar to the ideas I've thought of, some of them. And so it's like confirmation that I'm able to generate ideas that are interesting to this community. Wow, hello. I was waiting for you in 2026. I know, I'm a year early. Have I ventured into text-to-speech? Oh, tabletop simulator. Little bit. I've played a couple. It's just annoying for me to play because it takes a lot of setup and you need to be really experienced with it. I've mostly used TTS. When I use TTS? The last time I used TTS, I think, was to look at like the BT, compare it to Megamech, and I liked Megamech better. And before that, I was playing Twilight Imperium. I was playing Twilight Imperium on TTS during COVID. Yeah. Man, I missed Twilight Imperium. Faction mechs, force types, similar to your awesome videos. Okay, good. I have that in mind as well. There's a big list. I have like a big list of like 100 video ideas. 40k has been pretty competitive pill by now. Not because of the players, because of the rule set. That sucks. Yeah, it kind of sucks how. Yeah, kind of sucks in the direction they're taking their game. Your instincts serve you well. Yes, exactly. Yep, good idea, Fried Crab. Yep. Okay. I think I throw a couple more out there. Let's see if there's something something new. Like, just throw it out there, and I've definitely thought of a lot of these before. 40k hates us as players, like for the 40k community and anime, or the 40k company. Twilight Imperium is a friendship wrecker. No, I mean, I go hard when I play TI, but I don't think I lose friends over TI. Like, I mean, I definitely go hard when I play TI, but I don't know if I don't know if I've lost friends because of it. Ah, okay. Regarding 40k narrative play, there's been a bit of a push recently. There's definitely people saying no narrative play, Crusade is way better. I do think, yeah, I like the idea of taking like a chaos warband and growing it out. And I do like narrative play. The trouble is that their tabletop game doesn't reflect their lore, and that's frustrating to me. If it was a little bit closer in line, I would definitely like look at it again. Map review from Megamech per map packs. Like what specifically, Spartaner? Like map reviews? Like reviewing the playsets? Because okay, what I have is I have some maps, but we build them. I have also have 3D hex terrain, so we can like build over the hills and create like whole new maps sometimes. Like we don't have to play on the same map over and over again because I can just like stack extra hexes and make a thing, or like throw like a water thing over the hills, you know, that are already printed on the paper. Battletech Gothic is weird. I haven't played Battletech Gothic the tabletop game. I played Battletech Gothic the video game, but I kind of stopped once the Eldar thing, once the Eldar come into play, and I just lost interest. There just wasn't enough like variant to the in the video game for me to be interested, and the characters were a little flat. Like I felt like I was like, oh, I kind of know who's this guy's gonna backstab me, so I'm not really, you know. It wasn't the story wasn't very like strong compared to the other games I played. Tactics of the Great Houses. Okay. Wait, are we talking about Battlefleet Gothic, the video game and tabletop game from Warhammer, or something called BattleTech Gothic that I don't know about? Oh, were you talking about like the weird miniatures that BattleTech put out with like a dark Gothic theme? That was like a total miss. I looked at that. I was like, uh, I are you talking about those like that set they put out that are supposed to make made the mechs emo like they're from 40k? I was like, okay, what? No, I'm not interested. BattleTech Gothic. Is it just a miniature line? I hope that miniature line dies because those miniatures look like they suck. I like I like I'm allowed to have taste, okay? I'm allowed to have an opinion, and please don't make BattleTech look like emo goth shit just because Warhammer does that. Like, oh my god. They're going to be putting out a BattleTech anime set. Yikes. Okay, well maybe that one would be a little better. I don't know, because does have a Japanese influence. It might be kind of cool to have like a Hollow Live mech or something. Moving from 2025 to Renaissance. Yeah, I do think I'm moving over to Renaissance. I'm definitely not going into Clan Invasion just yet. I do want to poke around in Renaissance for a little bit and have my Renaissance experience. And then after my Renaissance experience, we'll probably mess around with late with Invasion, like go through the Invasion, have my Invasion experience. BattleTech Gothic is basically their effort to replicate 40k. Yeah, yikes! Like, I think that's a product miss. Personally, you're like, if you love the models, you can buy them. I'll play them with you, but I don't want. I already came from BattleTech. I don't want more BattleTech. Or I don't. I already came from Warhammer 40k. I don't want more Warhammer 40k. Alternate universe thing. Oh, okay, kind of like how. Ugh. Kind of like how Magic the Gathering has My Little Pony and Sonic the Hedgehog now. Yeah. there you can go. You can you can definitely run your franchise off the rails if you keep doing that. The strange thing is they only put out the mechs and not the monsters. They release the monsters when enough people buy the mech packs. Okay, well, I'm not gonna help you with that. I don't care. Battletech Dino Riders. A whole line of alternative settings. Yikes. Narrative play. Yeah, GG Gamer. All right. Yeah, I think everyone wants a good narrative Battletech campaign experience. And so that is definitely on my list. Reviewing underrated mechs and their variants. So I think that would just be an offshoot. That would be an offshoot of the tier lists. Battletech Gothics is a shameless attempt at eating 40k's lunch, but only gets a mouthful of sand. Yeah, it's... I wonder what made them do that, because someone clearly didn't understand consumer... Like, someone in the product team does not seem to understand what people want, you know, what product they want. And maybe they're really smart, and maybe they just took like a gamble and a risk and just wanted to see it, and that's fine. But to me, it's like, I don't understand who that's for. It makes sense from a very surface level, like, oh, I want to, like, people who play 40k also play Battletech, so we want our Battletech users, so we'll make something that looks like Gothic so that they're familiar with like the aesthetic. But it's not that's not it. And I don't... It's that we love, okay, for me at least. So I'm N of 1, right? So I don't know what kind of data they're looking at. But for me, I don't like 40k because of how they treated me as a customer. You know, I think they have wonderful lore, but the way they treated me as a customer when I had to continually buy their products and they were continually subpar, what left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I put up with it for a little while, but eventually I just went away because I'm like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. Why am I doing this? Oh, they did it years in advance. Maybe they just didn't know. You know, I can forgive it if they just didn't like know. They're like, oops, like we just thought of this product like 3 years ago as like kind of a shot in the dark, and we'll see. Like, you know, but if they're really like putting their weight behind it and trying to jam it down my throat, I would be like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? This is wrong. Thank you very much for the $1, by the way, Grizzly Troll. I appreciate that. They saw Trench Crusade hype and decided they made on... Yeah, I don't know why. But it... And I hope they didn't spend too much money on it, because it definitely seems like a product mess. It's definitely, as a consumer, I'm just not, like, I'm kind of scratching my head, you know? I'm just like, no, not for me. Excited to hear what ideas I have, and will be dabbling with new content. Okay, so because I'm coming, at the most I'll be coming back for once a week or once every 2 weeks, or maybe like once a month for now. But eventually I kind of want to get up to like once a week, once every other week. I want to work on Battletech channel, Battletech content, or just tabletop content, because I don't think, after looking at the market, I don't think Battletech is big enough to build a channel on that can generate full-time income. So I need to generate like at least some income. And so I'm playing with a couple of different concepts on, like, not completely changing, because I won't immediately stop doing Battletech content, but I want to pivot a little bit so I'm not reliant on Battletech as a... I don't live and die by the Battletech brand, because they're doing some things that are good, and they're doing some things that kind of make me scratch my head sometimes. So I don't think it's wise to build an entire library of videos and then potentially have it end up like a GW situation where the company's not so great and they're not in tune with their customers' needs, and then I'm stuck because I can't. I think it's just wiser for me to move into tabletop as a hobby, tabletop games and RPG games as a whole. So that will mean doing some BattleTech, so doing some like Warhammer videos, but that will also mean doing some like Dungeons and Dragons videos or like Draw Steel videos. That new game that what's his name is making. It's like a BattleTech. It's like a D&D competitor by MCDM Studios. So RPG stuff, and then also doing like maybe looking at like Trench Crusade, or maybe looking at like historicals like Napoleonics or World War II, stuff like that. Yeah. I th- I think I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant about Catalyst Games Labs. I think they have a really good brand, but I'm not sure that they're producing products that customers love. And they haven't been doing that for about like essentially about a year. Um is when I started to become aware of it. Uh I think personally they're maybe a little too focused on the narrative because they're writers, right? A lot of them came up from the writers, but I don't know I don't know. I'm not certain they understand the needs and desires of the consumers of the tabletop game, right? They might have a different vision, like might want to build out their intellectual property like Disney or something, maybe, where they start like licensing their IP to make video games. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're thinking or where their focus is at. But I do know that as a Battletech tabletop gamer, as a tabletop gamer, my needs are not being met. And that's part of the reason why I create these videos, and that's why I think the videos do so well, because I am able to speak to the tabletop gamers of Battletech in a way that the company is not speaking to you guys, and it's resonating. And yeah, that's that's kind of it. Flames of War, yeah, it could be a good game. I personally, for like World War II, there was like a game called Chain of Command by like two fat lardies that I really liked. Maybe I could stream some. I don't know, like stream some video games and stuff. I think I want to shift into. I need to shift out to. I need to rotate out of BattleTech, but not immediately. I'll keep making BattleTech content. There's a lot of ideas and there's a lot of good I can still do with the hobby. And I think I want to look at BattleTech more from like a game design standpoint, so that I can eventually pivot out of BattleTech once I've kind of run out of ideas for that. Does that make sense? That's kind of like my big plan. Yeah, I don't keep up with them as a company and what they're doing too much in terms of Catalyst, but I will say they're just they're not producing the products that I want. And so I'm gonna just make the products that I want. I'm gonna make them here, and I'm gonna make them free because, um, well, because they own the IP. I don't own the IP, but I think I'm gonna just grind XP and understand what makes a good game off of BattleTech because I know so much about it, and then um, take that knowledge and pivot into the next thing. I just can't wait anymore. If they're not doing what I want them to do as a fan, then I gotta move on. I need to have to do the thing that I want to do. In which case, why would I not just make something that I own? Uh, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. Still waiting on the Mercenaries Kickstarter? That was like year. That was like almost 2 years ago. Why not do any Mega Mech video? I could. Okay, here's the thing. It's like a tutorial video that might get like 10K will take me like a week, and like why would I, like, I don't know. I could, I guess I could. But it's like there's so many things on the list. I have to like hit the thing that I want to do, cuz like doing like a essentially doing like a IT tutorial of like click this, install this, check this button is like time consuming and a little annoying, like not as fun for me. Yeah. I don't know what my business will be for this channel. There's a lot of ways I could go. I don't think I would become a game designer. I do want to understand games from a game design standpoint. I think that'd be really cool. Just to be able to talk about games from a game design standpoint would be really fun personally. And I mean, maybe if I go like super deep into it, but that's not like something I want to do. There are a lot of things that interest me, like philosophy, personal finance. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel. But I know that staying in Battletech permanently is not in the cards, because it's just not lucrative, and it's not as fulfilling as doing whatever the hell I want. Do some battles in scenario. Okay, yeah, I agree. The Living Merc Coolant. Welcome, Jasvi. Narrative storytelling. Okay, I've started that because people have said that a lot. Okay, I think I'm satisfied with that. So let's call that done. Thank you, Sam Bauman, for the $5. In addition to Battletech, Trench Crusade is big right now. Historical games like Bolt Action, Hail Caesar, and of course D&D. Experiment with those. Yeah, I think so. I think definitely I agree with you. I probably have to do like an assessment of the landscape, where it is now, and see which ones I want to look at and try with the limited time I have. But you are right. I've been hearing a lot of things about Trench Crusade. I looked at the miniatures. The miniatures look sick. And there are a lot of, there's more games than just Battletech. There's more games than just D&D, you know. Thank you very much, Jackanapes, for the $5. No message either. Just give me $5. Thank you. That will be interesting as a video, taking a deep dive into the mechanics of, yeah, exactly. Mechanics of the game, what works, why they don't. Some kind of analysis like that would be good, and definitely would help make my own game if that's something that I decide that I want to do. And then understanding that knowledge and being able to apply it to other games and like break down games like that be quite fun for me. Fun for me. I'm a bit obsessed with the mechs right now. With mechs right now. Yeah, good. I'm glad. Got to get ready for today's BT game with the crew. Got to get lunch fixed, get the minis ready. I'll leave the stream running, but I'll be up AFK. Awesome. No worries, man. I'm gonna thank you for very much for coming. And I had no idea that you were the #1 fan. You're my #1 fan, BN Jackanapes. Aerospace for noobs. Maybe. I just don't think that it's gonna be like a very compelling video idea. Or no, not a compelling. It's compelling for some people, but it's small. So like the audience that would be interested in it have to be like Battletech, which is like the tiniest, tiny audience, plus Aerospace, which is like combined arms. So it's like even like a subset of a subset. Good to see you making content. I wouldn't call this content. I think content is like videos, you know? I'm not doing anything crazy special. Is it beer and pretzels? No. Trench Crusade is a beer and pretzels game? No, I wanted to be more complex. Bolt Action is awesome? I don't know. I like Chain of Command. I've never tried Bolt Action. Maybe I'll try both. Fallout Wasteland, Stargrave, Frostgrave, Last Parsec. What have I been playing? Gloomhaven. I've been playing Gloomhaven online. That was fun. It's like D&D with tactics. At this point in my life, I'll stay and play in the story that I've lived for 30 plus years. Wow, that's amazing. That's cool. You have a Battletech campaign that's been going 30 years. Total Warfare might be a hard sell. Gushing over infantry is not what people want in their mech game. Yeah, I think like it's always the balance between like how big is the target audience for this versus how much do I care and want to make the thing. Because like any video, let's say, will take like 40 hours to make. Let's say like 30 to 40 hours. Let's say 30, 40 man hours. So it's like, do I really want to make? What is the payout for this 30 to 40 hour effort, you know? And if like the money is going to be like $20, maybe not worth spending like 30 to 40 hours on it. Not a fan of I'm not a fan of Destiny either. I bought all the classic RPG stuff. I really like um the movement that you can do, like the rolling up the character is so much fun. You know, the tables and stuff. I really hope they get back to that. The random events and the way you can build your character. And yeah, I mean, I haven't even played the Battletech RPG. I just kept rolling characters, and I had a heck of a time doing that. No one cares about aerospace. Yeah, it's like I don't think very many people play BattleTech on the on like where you're moving like battalions and stuff around. You know, they have rules for it, but I've just never seen anyone that does that. Oh, and they're rewriting aerospace rules, as they should. I think they're a little clunky. They're pretty hard to understand. Okay. Oh, like funding a video idea? It's possible, but see, like, it is possible. You could do that through like Throne or Patreon or something. It's also opportunity cost. So the cost of making the video is the hours you have to put in with like the research and putting together, the person you have to pay for the thumbnail and the script and all that. But it's also the opportunity cost of not doing something else. So for example, I could do a video on aerospace if the options are, okay, I have these two ideas. I could do a video on aerospace, or I could do a video on the Timberwolf. The video on the Timberwolf is going to make, not only going to make more money for the same amount of time, but it's also going to grow my audience bigger. And that's going to have a snowball effect. So if I get like plus 500 subscribers, let's say, from the Timberwolf video, and I get plus 10 subscribers from the aerospace video, ultimately that's going to build my brand better. Like more people are going to be interested in it, and it's going to build my brand faster, which means that the next video I do is going to compound even more. So it's like a compounding effect. But I do understand, like, that's from like a money point of view, which is something that I probably need to get out of the habit of thinking about, and just express myself. I think I haven't done that for a while, you know, just like express myself purely creatively. And then is it something that I personally am interested in? Like, am I interested in learning about a little bit about Arrow? Yeah. Am I interested in playing an entire campaign that features Arrow, whose rules might go out of style, like get rewritten in the next year? I don't know. But I do think you have something there, in terms of funding a specific video idea. I might think about that. Yeah. Would a Flashman look? Oh no. But yeah, there's so many. There's a balance there. I don't think I would want to make a video that only like 5 people are interested in just yet, because I'm not big enough yet, but I do think that it's a balance between money and audience size and personal interest. Total Warfare is getting patched, redone. Nice. Okay. The most important thing on the list actually is making this character. So let me pull up these books. Let me pull up these books. Where are my Battletech books? Battletech rule books. Is it it's the RPG, classic RPG. How do I hide? Hide bookmarks. Hello, how do I hide my bookmarks? Show favorites bar, never. Okay, good. The Battletech RPG. Share. Explorer. Let me just check we're all good here before I share. I don't want to share anything crazy. I think this is fine. No, okay. Edge is the application. Yeah, okay, this is the one. 1 second, let me set this up. So we have to make this smaller. I think I press Alt and make this window smaller. Yep. Okay, ooh. I'm gonna clip it. Perfect. Perfect. All right, and now we make this smaller. Let me fit it to size. Okay, that's good. We can make this a little longer here. Oops, Alt. Okay. That's set up, so we'll lock that. And then I move myself. I scooch down here. And then I think we can make the text somewhere else. Text. Unlock text. Okay. Make this small. Unlock that. Okay. Let's read chat. What did I miss? I'm interested in dropships and warships. Yeah, I think on the battalion and regiment level, understanding that might be fun. Do you still have your Discord? I tried a while ago, but wasn't it? No, I deleted the Discord. The problem I found with Discord is that most people are cool. Some people want a lot of attention. And if I spend all my time on giving the people who want attention all the attention they want, then my channel doesn't go anywhere because I can't build anything. And then there are like some people that are kind of just a pain in the ass to deal with, you know? Like if that guy from your local game store comes, you just kind of walk away and avoid him. But if that guy comes into a Discord server, you know, it's a little annoying. I don't know if you're I wouldn't know if you're like that or not, but like the ability to not get away from that guys is really irritating to me. And so I shut it down. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't hang out in a Discord, but I don't think I would let people talk in my Discord. It would just be like a purely informational thing. Sir Broadsword got so tired of me waiting to the assault mech tier list that I did my own. Good. I'm glad you're carrying the torch. Carrying the torch. Please, please, sir. Assault mech tier list, please. I'm begging you. I need my fix. I've been waiting 18 months for the assault mech tier list. Tell me which mech is S tier. I need to know. You did your best to line up rating each mech category, logistics, utility, and each mech in the battlefield. Good, good, good. Yeah. Good. Awesome longbow. Longbow Q. Stalker's very good. I believe. Awesome for sure. Like S tier, like I find it hard not it at least A. At least A plus. I'm not sure what the longbow Q is. The Stalker is quite nice, quite flexible. Probably yeah, you're probably on the right track if you've got those as the solutions. As ugly as the Stalker is, I think it is quite effective. I don't know about the longbow Q, but I can say the awesome is like, yeah, probably yes. Discord does get full of annoying people. Yeah. So what I find is like, if you have good people that you like hanging around with, if you are a good person and people like hanging around you, you have a lot of options. And because you have a lot of options, you can basically choose what Discord server to hang out in. And so if you're a very popular and well-adjusted and good person, you're not going to hang out in a space that is full of that guys who can't make friends, you know? You're just going to be like, well, I'm just going to go hang out with people who are cool, you know? And you're going to go do that. So the problem with Discord is it becomes like with some Discords is that they become cesspits of just that guys who can't really find anyone to chill with. And yeah. Yeah, sounds about right. Spartaner. Death blimp superiority. Oh yeah. Charger, Banshee, Zeus, and Cyclops as the premium. Okay. Charger, pretty banger for flavor. Banshee, crap unless you do the S, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite assaults. Zeus, hell no. Base Zeus, hell no. I hate that thing. Cyclops, battalion level or higher. Do I have a Discord? No, there's no nerdy overanalyzed Discord. We may be making one if I come back, and it will be ping only, because I don't like dealing with annoying people. I sound like such a Scrooge by saying that, but it's true. I don't have time. I don't have time or energy to deal with annoying people. You can call me a crotchety old man if you like, but I stand by that. I need to... Yeah. Hate the Zeus. You don't hate the Zeus? The AC5? Okay, the one with the PPC, acceptable. But if you're coming at me with a Zeus AC5, I'd say just take the Thunderbolt. Just take a Thunderbolt, you'll be fine. It does like the same thing, practically. Banshee 3S. Yeah. It's only for Steiner. But I play Steiner. Oh yeah, I've swapped factions from Combine to Steiner. Because I like big stompy mechs. And I am not sorry. The only bad thing about being Steiner is the Commando. You have to find a place for the Commando, and you have to find a place for that stupid Zeus. The Zeus has a lovely choice to make. Eject the LRM ammo, have no firepower, or don't eject the LRM ammo and explode. The Victor is always fun. Oh yes, I have been eager to get a jump capable AC-20 assault and play with that. Yeah. Misanthropic Grognard. But maybe I'm projecting. I don't know. I only have so much time to have fun, and I don't want to spend my time like telling someone that stop adding me, like stop adding me, stop being annoying, stop like I don't want to do that for a job. Hell no. We only give it a C? Really? But okay, the Victor is the only jump capable AC-20 platform that you have until the Axeman. But the Axeman is only Steiner, so like the Hunchback. Okay, the Hunchback isn't okay. Let's talk about AC-20 capable platforms. You have the Hunchback at medium, but it has 4 rear armor, so you can't really play it. In my opinion, you can't really play the Hunchback because it has rear armor and it's just gonna get wrecked. Because something's gonna get behind it, hit it with a medium laser and a couple machine guns or an SRM, and then it's done. So not an option. You have the Thunderbolt Steiner, which throws all of its weapons away for like an AC-20 and like something else. That is only Steiner. So you don't have another AC-20 guy until you hit Assaults. And with Assaults, you have the King Crab, but it's 3-5. And you have the Atlas, which is a King Crab. Or so the Atlas, which is also 3-5. I think you might also have like another one or two things with AC-20. But to me, the Victor is like the best platform to carry an AC-20. And that's why you take the Victor. Because you can get the Victor in a lot more reliably and with a lot less damage. And you can also run your Victor away. So I think that's the reason why you would take it. And I think like knee-jerk reaction, maybe like B. But I don't know. I have to like put everything in a spreadsheet and look. Oh, the Highlander. But the Highlander's an AC-10. Yeah, only have so much energy. Spending on the right people is important. Yeah, very important. I mean, yeah. And if you hang around like crappy people, you kind of start to become crappy, you know? You pick up their crappy habits. I like T-bolts, but I don't like the double S. I think I didn't like the double S either because it's unreliable, but if you want to like a AC-20, you want to bring an AC-20, I don't think you have a choice. Like I don't know anything else that can bring an AC-20 to the fight without, you know. Yeah, Cyclops has an AC-20, but the Cyclops is also rare, and the Cyclops' armor is poopy. The Victor has less armor than a Hunchback? Rear armor? Does it have less rear? The Hunchback's rear armor is 4, which is why I don't like it. Oh, you're looking at something else? Okay. Tell us about the Thug. Why is the Thug so good? Okay, the Thug is good because it has 2 PPCs for piercing, like the Warhammer. It also has more armor than the Warhammer. And then you have the pierce crit combo. So you have double PPCs to pierce, and then when you close, you can crit. I think it's 2 SRM6s. Does it have 2? I think it has 2 tons of ammo if I'm mistaken. If it has 2 tons of ammo, that's even better, because with 2 tons of ammo, you can take Inferno. So you can potentially hit him with 2 shots of SRM6 Inferno, which is like 16 heat, caps out at 15. So if you have initiative over your target, they have to account for the fact that they could be faced with an extra 15 heat, which is going to make them drop their weapon, their attack. So they have to say, oh crap, I might take 15 heat on the return if I shoot now. So they have to intentionally not shoot any weapons to account for the fact that you might hit them with SRM6 Inferno. So you're going to take, in that way you can like CC your opponent. And then it also has that crit. The bad thing about the Thug, I think if it shoots like, some weapon combinations make it end up in a weird heat. So like if it does double PPC and moves or something, maybe it has like net 3 heat. I'm not remembering properly, but I think the only bad thing I could see about the Thug was that sometimes you end up in awkward heat levels. Yeah. Thug is the Warhammer. Yeah, it's basically a buffed Warhammer with it's a Warhammer with armor and more crit with an Inferno, with the potential for hitting you with Inferno. Yeah, Cyclops is good with command tiebreakers, right? So you're taking the Cyclops on like battalion level or higher, because at like company level, you're basically just spending an assault mech to get you a +1 on initiative, which is, I don't know, doesn't seem worth. Maybe you can. I mean, you might be able to make it work. Trouble is you can't get. Yeah, it's quite rare, so I don't see. I don't see you risking the Cyclops, like going out of your way to buy a Cyclops. Questionable. If you have a Cyclops, you can use it. Certainly. Net 3 when Thug sprints, yes. Getting late here in Denmark. Great to see you back. Good night. Good night. If you know, I'll probably try and make it a point to stream a little earlier. Four 6 AC 20, 15 tons of armor. That's kind of cool. Okay. What I want to do today is I want to build a mercenary commander, because I want to start a new 3039 campaign. A Renaissance. I want to start a Renaissance campaign. And so, what we have to do is we have to build who that commander is. Thug is rare. Warhammer 60 and Javelin is common. Yep. If you have the Warhammer 6 Delta and the Javelin, yeah, you kind of doing the Thug's job a little bit better than the Thug. Okay. So I ran a poll earlier last month or the month before, and I know what I want. I know roughly that I want him to be a Tarian commander, but I don't know. Okay, I don't know if I want a young. Okay, let me put it to a vote. What age do you want your Tarian commander? This guy's gonna be like the hero. So this is like what the story is gonna center around. So we could go early 20s, just out of academy. We could go mid 30s, out of military, looking for next gig. We could go late 50s, dragged out of retirement. Start the poll. And I think there are subtly a different number of stories that we can tell doing that. I want you guys to vote on that so we can see. Yeah. I'm happy to tell any story. I just don't know kind of like what. The commander is you. No, wrong, incorrect. I am the mercenary advisor. You are the commander. Javelin is your second favorite. The M-Blast Jenner is my favorite. M-Blast Jenner is crazy good. Definitely, yeah. I definitely would say you pick some good light mechs there. Wait a little longer. Let's see. Oh, the next thing is early childhood. So while you're voting on that, or after you voted with that, let's talk about early childhood. What kind of background would you think you guys would want? I don't think the Toro's around, honestly. I would love to have one. Give it another minute or two. The chosen one who is chosen to save the day. You have been chosen. All right, do you want like someone like a humble beginning or like a high beginning? Reverb, it's been a while since I've seen you on the channel. Any chance you'll be making more content in the near future? In the near future, I don't know. In the late future, yes. So I'm working on a business right now. It's taking a while. I'm getting a little antsy. I want to come back to this channel, but I don't know how much time to commit. So I probably can commit to like once a month or like twice a month or like once a week. I don't know. That will certainly impact like how fast I'm able to make videos. However, I do have plans to come back this year and next year in a limited sense, but I'm not going to be hitting it as hard as I was when I was full-time Battletech, full-time Nerdy Overanalyzed. Once I get the second business to a point where it's throwing off a bunch of money, then I can consider like coming back here a little bit more, or I don't know if I want to keep growing out that business. I just don't know. But I think I will be back making videos in some capacity, although it will be quite slow. Reading that 50 years out of retirement makes me feel very old. Oh no. Okay, end poll. Yeah, once my yacht review channel starts taking off, I'll be coming back to Battletech. What up, guys? Nerdy Overanalyzed here to talk about this sick 500-foot yacht. I'm here on Jeff Bezos's. You won't believe they have an ice cream machine. They have a popcorn machine. They have a full movie theater. Okay. Background. Let's put it to a vote. Engage with your audience. All right. So this is early childhood. This is kind of like where did you grow up, your family and stuff. Let's see. Background. All right, I like okay, backwoods, I guess. Kind of crazy. Backwoods. How many options can we do? We can do 4. Okay. I like but first, a word from our sponsor, Raid Chat. We're not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I like Nobility. Tarian Noble. Kind of cool. The Streets. What else do we like? Do you not like being sponsored by Raid? I don't know. It's money, but I think I want to build a brand around authenticity. So like if I don't use the product, I don't see myself doing a thing. I don't see myself doing a video for it. Okay, I think I like those. All right. Start the poll. Do advertisements for in-universe brands. This video is sponsored by Emperor Paraphylactics. Emperor Paraphylactics, keeping you safe for over 10,000 millennia. Now in Space Marine size. Don't give them ideas. Oh, it's tied. It's 33% for each of the backgrounds. What the heck? Wow. I didn't think it would be this close. I might need to get a dice. Let me get some dice. All right, I'm going to end the poll in like another minute. If you haven't answered, then that's going to be it. If it's all 33%, if it's in like the 30s, I'm just going to roll for it cuz it means it's like it's kind of split. And I don't want to just solve I don't want to end the poll if it's like thirds, you know? Cuz it means like we aren't sure. He's a backwards monarch from the streets. Okay, when it hits 2 minutes, I'm ending the poll. I see the slime character as a type of future Battletech AI. I don't think they have AI in Battletech. Which is sad. Which is unfortunate. No, they have rudimentary AI, but they're like Lost Tech, right? Like, they have, like, warships that are run by AI or something. But it's definitely not a theme of BT. So, I don't know. I know in, like, fantasy stuff, I'm probably going to be just a slime. Like, a slime shopkeeper or something. But I don't know what I would be in battle. Maybe I don't know. I have to think about it. Okay. Boop. Okay, looks like backwoods nobility and streets. Backwoods? Raised in the country, you are hardy and but refined and uneducated. Your parents subsisted on farming, hunting, and gathering, probably in the remote areas of the periphery on a less prosperous. So, backwoods? Do we want to roll this or nah? Right. Start a poll. Okay. Roll if it's close. Okay, we have to decide how we're gonna run this, okay? So this is like this is a vote for like the overall creation. Roll if it's close. So if it's close, we're gonna just roll a d6 and, you know, pick. Or just go with whatever wins. Alright, tell me what you guys want to do. Do laws apply to slimes? Of course. I mean, a mech is basically the same as a farming combine, right? Those skills transfer. Yeah, like Luke Skywalker was flying his like Skyhopper, and he could kill the Death Star. That makes sense, right? Same thing. Crop Duster's the same thing as an X-Wing fighter. I guess you have like an agri mech or something. An AI ship from Harebrained Schemes Battletech that is super lore unfriendly. Swatting romp rat? Yeah, exactly. Just like shooting womp rats back home. True. The bigger question is how he's going to be came from nothing to have the resource. I want to know that. We got to figure that out. All right, it's going to be 2-minute votes, guys. Whenever I see 2 minutes, I'm going to stop the poll. Vote now. Weld a machine gun on a farming mech. Exactly. He had to hunt the local saber-toothed cats that were killing his dogs. So he strapped a 50 cal to his agri-mech and went out into the woods, into the rocky canyons to hunt the saber cats that killed his dog. Yeah. Just the Star League weapons cache. Just the Star League's weapon cache. It'll be fine. That explains everything. Just Star League. Vote now. Okay, everyone voted. I'm ending it. I'm bored. All right, just go with whatever wins. An interesting choice. So we now have backwoods. All right, time to roll for the event. Is it a 2d6? 2d6, Backworlds event. Here we go. 4. Hunting accident. A hunting accident. Okay. Sabertooth cats killed his dog, used agri-mech with machine gun to hunt. On that hunt, unattractive, his face got rearranged by the cat. The Womp Rats did strike back. Exactly. The cat damaged it, jumped into his cockpit and started mauling him. Okay. Good Wait, how old was this guy? 10. When he was 10. 10 years old. Had a hunting accident. Okay, very cool. mauled by a cougar at 10 years old. All right. Late childhood. I guess you're still in the backwoods would be okay. Backwoods will be an option. Just standard Battletech background. Backwoods. All right, backwoods is another option. Farm. What? No. All right. We could go with mercenary brat, I guess. Maybe he just grew up in the backwoods and then for his mercenary contract or something. Military school. Or high school. Okay, let's look at backwoods. Okay, if we take backwoods again, we can only go into military enlistment or ne'er-do-well. Choose wisely. This is our mercenary commander. Okay? It's our mercenary commander we're talking about. On what planet? Some backwoods planet, some backwater planet in the Taran Concordat. Military school. Go full Luke Skywalker. Vote now. Nerdy, when you say things like that, that's the way to ensure people are guaranteed to pick the worst option. Exactly. I don't mind. I don't mind. We just need to. We just need to. We just need to write our way out of this. You know, we need to burn a couple of fate points. You find your mech in a deserted bandit camp. They died from illness. An alternative to you finding a Starleague cache. Are we just gonna be a Taran hillbilly? How are we supposed to build a mercenary company as a Tarian hillbilly? All right, I don't know if any of you are out there, but we're at 33% backwoods, 33% military school. Someone needs to... All right, the next person to vote will break the tie. And I will end the poll once I see the tiebreaker. We just need to bump one of them over 33%. Someone will choose the fate of this poor lad. Okay, now we're tied at 32%, so we need another tiebreaker. You just had to question that backwards. All right. You voted for it. Da 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 da. Wait, oh, I saw backwoods at 35%, so we're backwoodsing it again. Late childhood. Backwoods. Living off the land, you learn practical survival skills rather than the academics common to most children your age. Oh, look! Double twos, mauled by a wild animal. All right, time to roll. Eight. Yours was a particularly hostile world. All right, we have a death world child. We have an Ogren on our hands, folks. Yeah. It's all starting to add up. We have Mowgli from the Jungle Book. All right. All right, carolers follow only one path at this stage and then go on to higher education or real life as desired. You can also end the life path and play your character as a teenager. No, we're not doing that. All right. Options. Military enlistment or ne'er-do-well. We also can burn... I think it's called Edge in this game to bump the system. So let's see. What's next? Higher education. All right, we can go to the military academy. Is that realistic? Military. It was military enlistment, I believe, was our next option. Military enlistment or ne'er-do-well. Is there anything else we could want? New Avalon Institute of Science? No. Military science? No. We're in the Taran Concordant. Police Academy? No. We're not becoming a police officer. Technical college? That's not going to set up as a... no. Trade school? Okay. I guess it's just military enlistment or ne'er-do-well. Military enlistment. Ne'er-do-well. What was this called? Early adulthood or something like that? Higher education. Start the poll. Vote now. Can enlistment in the military mean conscription? Yes, there is mandatory military service for 4 years in the Taran Concordat. Is this the RPG? This is the RPG. Oh, Tarans have any... But I don't see how he would come from the jungle and be able to become an officer, okay? I just don't. I don't think that's realistic. Yeah, we do need to get him to be at least semi-competent with mechs, okay? We need it, like, something needs to happen. I don't know what. I don't know what yet, but something needs to happen to make this guy at least able to pilot a mech. Okay, military enlistment. Oh. Cannot have lost limb, poor hearing, poor vision. All right, good thing we have... just our face got mauled. We're just ugly. Military enlistment events. Oh, shit. Special forces. Can you become a special forces? How do you get a mech, though? How do you get a mech, though? Space Arkansas. Yeah, exactly. All right, time to roll the old 2d6. 9. All right, that's kind of high. Oh, we lucked out. Training standout. Recommended to the academy by your CO. May take the remaining military training, if any, in the military academy path. Yeah, we made it. We made it out of the woods, boys. Military enlistment. The prodigy hillbilly that drives an aggro mech. Yeah, meritocracy. Hooray, Taran Concordat. All right. Military academy. We're at the academy. All right, so actually we can become a mech warrior. Okay, so we'll take just mech warrior AIT. That makes sense. Next path is tour of duty covert ops. Covert ops. Special training. Part 3 of this path. Take if the character enters mech warrior. Okay, so we get AIT, so we have to go special training. And then... Wait, what? What is this? Part 3 of this pass. Take if character enters... Okay, special training here. Fields. Choose one of the following fields: doctor, jump ship pilot, military scientist, special forces. Special forces. Okay, SF. Okay, so he has to go SF, mech warrior. And then the next entry via event role. Okay, so he's not an officer yet. He's just a dude. All right, we have gotten into a mech. That is a big step. Came back to classic Battletech after about 30 years. Your analysis videos are a huge help. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed. We're rolling up a new character for a new series that I'm gonna do, or game I'm gonna do. We're rolling up a Tarian commander. So right now we're kind of in the middle of character creation. We're going to tour of duty, or we have to go to tour of duty. We can't go to covert ops, special forces, or military scientists only. I don't think we're taking special force. Oh wait, no, we can, because we're in special forces. Okay, so we can do covert ops. Do you want the covert ops mission, or do you want regular tour of duty? Vote now. Do you have the right attributes? I'm gonna do the attributes and stuff later. I've rolled like a bunch of characters with this, so I know I can just jiggle things around or burn edge to get to where we want. I'm just more concerned about like the story and kind of making it fun without getting bogged down. Because if I had to write everything out right now, it would take a bajillion years. You'd be sitting here for like 10 minutes while I like typed in Excel, and that's not fun. Technically, special forces is part of. So you see here, special forces, mech warrior. So as a mech warrior, you're part of special forces, which allows you to take the covert ops path. So he's a mech warrior on a covert ops mission for whatever reason. I don't know. Covert ops. Oh god. This is a classic Battletech RPG. Megamech dudes indicate a character creator. Most of the ones that exist are meh. The guy from the backwoods has animal attack scars from the age of 10. Covert ops all the way. Covert ops seems like what a future mech commander would do? Really? Okay. Survive like RDJ from Tropic Thunder. All right. Looks like it's covert ops. Real life covert ops. Your nation summons you to perform well beyond the call of duty. You will earn significant rewards if you survive. The player determines the specific duty covered by this path, ranging from sabotage and infiltration to assassination and fomenting rebellion. Choose appropriate sub-skills based on your character. Disguises himself as an aggro-mech pilot and sneaks in amongst the aggro-mech herds to blend in. Okay. 2d6. Here we go. 10. You become a master of persuasion. Interrogation, intimidation, medtech, bad reputation. Dude, he's interrogating people. He's interrogating people. Scary face with a good knife? I guess so. I guess so. 1d6 years. Okay, so this takes 4 years. Okay, so he spends 4 years in covert ops. Do we want to give him additional time in or do we want him to become a mercenary? Okay. Do we want... We have... Next path is ne'er-do-well. We have mercenary, tour of duty. So this would be like pre-game. So does he have? Was he a mercenary before the game starts, or does he want to just become a mercenary? We could do tour of duty IS. Taurian military. Yakuza, that's only Draconis Combine. Oh, travel is one. I don't know what travel is. Travel. Okay. Start the poll. Sefer Bidan. Gotta hit the road. Good to have you back. Love your ability to spread attention and interact with your viewers. Looking forward to your upcoming projects. Thanks so much. I'll probably be back. I kind of enjoy streaming and chilling. As long as it's not like people aren't weird. But people aren't weird, so I'm enjoying it. Just hanging out. But yeah, I think I'll probably, if anything, maybe try and start the stream a little bit sooner. Next time. I think early mornings on like Saturdays are kind of the best times to stream because people don't really have stuff and Europeans can actually come see me. So yeah, if anything, I'll probably start a little sooner next time. Ne'er-do-well. Ne'er-do-well is like, I think you just like on the streets. Like you just go on the streets and become kind of a criminal. Or like you can like get lost in like gambling and drinking and like lose years of your life. Stuff like that. Okay, we'll give it a couple more minutes. 1 more minute. 60 seconds. Okay. End poll. Looks like Taurian military tour of duty. Taurian military tour of duty. From lofty mech warrior to common grunt, this path is where you put it all on the line. Combat and non-combat military personnel must face the enemy on one or more tours of duty. Ooh, we get a medium mech. All right, time for the old 2d6. We're going to play Battletech Classic, yeah. Boop. Oh, God, it's a 3. Captured! Add 2 years to the time this path takes and take one of the following. Combat paralysis, lost limb, or bod. All right, do we want this or do we want to edge out of it? We can burn edge. All right. Captured or burn edge to re-roll. Lost limb is cool. I would take like a lost arm if I had to roll that. No surrendering to the Fed rats. Edge. Burn that edge. Reroll. Perhaps could also be Capellans. Yes, it could be, but more likely the Fed rats. Tour duty Tarian. Captured by a bunch of cat girls, spends 2 years of his life in the casinos of Canopus as a go-go dancer. It's at 50-50, folks. Can I change or discard my vote? Nope. Once you vote, it's done. So we're standing at 50-50. We need someone to break the tie. We need people to break the tie. Break the tie, people. One of your friends' campaigns had a Catboy in it. Rode in a disco bat. Nice. You could roll to choose it if it is tied, but I want to give a little bit for I want to give a little bit of time so people can vote a little more. All right. End the poll. Captured. I'm gonna say FedCom, or Feds. Yeah, FedCom, or the Federated Sons if it's not time yet. Loss of limb. We can go with that. Yeah. Those dirty FedComs took my arm. I didn't need that limb anyway. True. That's why we have 2 arms, right? Okay, next question is, do we want to start the game, or do we want to go another tour of duty? End character creation. End character. We can end the character creation. We can do another tour of duty Tarian. We can do ne'er-do-well, I guess. I don't want him to be a cop, and I don't think I want to go back to covert ops. So if you think we have a good character right now, we can end the character creation and just start the game, or we can do another tour to duty, or we can see what it's like being a homeless bum and what happens there. What year is this campaign? I'm gonna start it in like 3030 to 3039, something like that, somewhere around there. Let's get our boy a mech. We have a mech. We have a vehicle 2. We have a medium mech. Not covert ops. I don't really want to do covert. I think 1 covert ops is fine. I don't know. I just personally don't think I would want to roll another covert ops, just personally. Just personally. Okay, I'm ending it. All right, another tour of duty. This one is at -1. 2d6 -1. All right, 6. Heavy combat. Very cool. So he gets a bit of combat skills up. All skills in one military field. And a, and a disability. Oh boy. This guy's kind of beat up. He has a scarred face from a saber cat, missing a limb because he was captured, and a disability. He's got a lot of disability pay. Okay. I think I'm satisfied. With this character. The next step is for me to put this character on paper and draw him out. A grizzled veteran. Yeah, a missing limb is already a disability, yes. But he gets another disability on top of losing a limb. Those will be piloting. Roll for what limb we lose. All right. 1 is left arm, 2 is right arm, 3 is left leg, 4 is right leg, 5 and 6 are rerolls. 3. So left leg. He uses his VA disability to buy a militarized aggro mech. He has a crude cybernetic leg. Okay. Well, thanks so much for coming to my little fireside chat event. I'm really happy. I'm going to head out now, and then I'm going to go and work on this stuff. The next time, I'll think about like a lot of what you guys said in terms of like what kind of content you wanted to see, and then we'll start working on that content. We'll start making it. Happen. I just gotta like think about roadmap and stuff like that. But I'm very happy that you guys came out to come and see me again, come and hang out. Not sure if I'm gonna make it a regular thing, but know that you guys are always kind of on my mind, and I will be coming back to this, I will be coming back to this channel unless something like crazy happens. It's just a time issue, you know? Yeah. Perfect character for a Mega Mech campaign. Exactly. Call sign. I don't know. We will have to have a call sign vote. All right, give me a couple of call signs and I'll make a poll. Scarface. I like Mowgli. Mowgli's kind of cool. Mowgli. Moonshine. Scarface. All right. I will think about it. I'll see you guys next time. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later.